What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome to another episode. So I was chatting with one of my students yesterday about a plan that he had for increasing the validity, the credibility, the authority that he has for selling his product in the marketplace. He wanted to do something that I think on the surface you might think makes a lot of sense, but in actuality, it's actually a really stupid idea. It was really dumb. And after I laid out for him why exactly it's not a good idea to do this, he's like, oh, I didn't even think about it that way. So here we are. I'm going to share this, guys, with you so you don't have to pay me tens of thousands of dollars to get the same lesson. It's all free. So the idea is simple. So this student, he sells a high ticket information product. He's very good, by the way. He's fantastic in the space. Love him. He wants to build like bulletproof authority and proof that he is as awesome as he says he is, because there are so many scammers in the world of information products, right? We all know that. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to provide proof and credibility, but the idea that he had was that he wanted to get to the place where he could provide his bank statements on his website. So that if you were to go to his website and you were looking and you see the proof, you see the reviews and all this stuff, that's one thing. But then to be able to click and look at his monthly bank statements to actually see, yeah, he is making the money that he says he is, that's a different level of proof and authority. Very interesting, right? And he wouldn't be the first person to do this. In fact, this other woman did this. Maria, very, very famous on Instagram. But the problem is that Maria in this strategy is selling to a fundamentally different demographic than my student. See, Maria sells low ticket items, like low ticket courses, digital products, things that are like $20, $30, $50 to what I would call low value avatars. Now, I'm not saying that they're like low value and that they have no worth to the world, just simply that they are in a different purchasing mindset than somebody that's a high value avatar. My student, he sells to high value avatars. His product is very expensive, right? You're going to be spending tens of thousands of dollars a year to work with him, and it's worth it because he will get you results. So he is attracting high value avatars with high value purchase price, right? And he thinks, okay, if I provide my bank statements, that would give those people more confidence, but it won't work. Why is that? Because low value avatars require more proof than high value avatars. And that's pretty surprising, right? Think about this. The person who's going and looking for the $50 product requires more proof than the person going to spend $10,000. Now that might not sound right, but I'm telling you it is. The person who is only willing to spend $50 on a course, on a digital product, they are far more skeptical because there are so many scammers in that place. So they're like, how do I know this is going to work? Because proportionally, they don't have very much money. Maybe they haven't invested a lot into themselves in the past, so they don't know exactly how this world works, and they're afraid of being taken advantage of. High value avatar, somebody who's willing to spend, let's say, $10,000 a year on coaching and information, that person understands a few things. First of all, they are taking their status signals not from the proof that you give them, but from how you present, how you talk, and the value that you share in your content. Anybody that is coming to my student who requires to see his bank statements to say like who he is, I'm telling you, you don't want to work with that person. They're going to be a pain in the ass in the future, because the people you really want to work with, they see the free content that you're putting out. They're consuming the emails that you're sending. They're getting tremendous value, and they can tell by the way that you talk about what you do that you are a person that can help them. And that's a fundamental different mindset from the low value person who's like, how do I know this is going to work for me? They're so afraid of being scammed. The high value avatar, they know that what you're doing will work. It's on them to do the work. So now it's just a matter of, do I want to work with you to get this result or this other person? And that usually is coming down to a personality thing. But you do not have to provide extraordinary amounts of proof to bring in high value avatars. What you need to do is you need to be so damn good at what you do that it just comes out naturally when they talk to you. If after 5 minutes of hearing you talk, they're still on the fence, you're just not good enough yet. Get better, and then you don't have to worry about putting your bank statements out into the world. So that's my thoughts on that topic. And as a general rule, A lot of times when you're starting your first information digital coaching product, whatever, most people think I should start with a low ticket offer. I should have a digital product, a low $99 course, because they think that's going to be easier to sell. And I'm telling you, a $99 course is harder to sell than a $10,000 course. The buyer demographics are completely different. Also, if you're trying to sell meaningful amounts of money, let's take, like, how many people would you have to sell at $99 to make $10,000, right? That would be what, 100 people, versus if you sell one $10,000 product, you only need one person. I'm telling you, it's much easier to go find one person out there in the world willing to give you $10,000 than it is to find 100 people, 1,000 people willing to give you $100. It's freaking orders of magnitude easier. So what I recommend is that you do not waste time, especially when you're starting off at the low end of the pool. Do not start there. Go immediately to the mid ticket, to the high ticket. Somewhere in that $3,000 to $6,000 range is a good mid ticket offer with some kind of upsell back end to that 10, 15,000 range. Start there, build the middle ticket product first, then the high ticket product. And then only after you have those two things humming along and you have money to reinvest into the business, to grow the systems, the team, the resources, only then do you go back and worry about building out the low ticket offer, because at that point you have money that you could pour into advertising. You might already have like a solid organic following. So now you can create a product that helps those lower value avatars come in at the low ticket price, get a result that then gives them the confidence to go into the middle and the high ticket. But do not start there. It's a pain in the ass and it's not worth it. So that's what I got for you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you took away, and I'll see you guys in the next video.